I am live and it's time for us to meditate. I will make some adjustments while I'm waiting for people to show up. It is still Thanksgiving Day. Hello, Darren, you're the first one here. Hello, hello. Glad to see you. I hope you've had a good day. We are winding down on Thanksgiving 2025. Maybe you might want to share something that you're grateful for. That'd be a good way to start. Let's do that. I'm grateful for a nice cold fake beer. Grateful for Thanksgiving. I like that. We have to take advantage of these holiday moments to lift the vibration. Speaking of that, we did a Church of Spirituality service this morning. Grateful for friendship. Nice. And it's still uploading. I don't know why it's taken so long for it to upload, but oh well. Once it uploads, my Church of Spirituality Thanksgiving Day service, you'll be able to watch it. I'm not sure why it's taken so long. But anyway, it was great to be with you all this morning. Thank you to those of you who could make it, who joined us for that. But definitely make sure you check it out. So, let's see. I really do feel like our meditations are working. And the thing that can throw us off is that when things are in a healing crisis, they always look worse. And I know it's been a long time of this, right? I watched something today that I did post on my community page. I just came across it, and I don't know a lot about the Nuremberg trials, but now that the new movie is out, I'm kind of learning a little bit more. So I think it's really important that we all understand that we're supposed to learn from history, right? So Ben Ferencz, he's probably no longer with us because he was almost 100 years old when this documentary was made in 2018, I believe it was. It's called Prosecuting Evil. And I want you to watch it because it's really representative of that there are always angels, that, there are always people that act as angels. And maybe you're one. I like your gratitudes up there. All right. Grateful for all the wonderful tarot readers. So anyhow, I want you to check it out because it's really, parts of it are really difficult. It's called Prosecuting Evil. I posted it on my community page. So if you want to look for that. And I think it's really important for us to recognize that through the times of tumult, there are always angels and helpers. And so he prosecuted the worst of the worst. And I won't get into it right now because I know your vibe is high because it's a holiday. So we'll just understand that the reason there's a Holocaust museum in Germany and in New York City, and I'm sure in other places, the reason for that is that we understand that every generation, it's up to us to raise our humanity, our level of humanity. Oh, and Darren's mentioning watch the old Nuremberg trial movie. Yeah, right. Yeah, I might watch that one. It's a really tough topic. And the only reason that I'm bringing it up is because we see ourselves in this time in our history where, fascism has knocked on the door in the United States of America like less than 100 years ago, which we learned a lot from Rachel Maddow's great work and research on that time period when fascism almost really took over the United States. It's kind of like it keeps coming around, so we can push back and push back and push back. But her book prequel is just phenomenal, and it makes you see that we've made it through because of the good people. Not everyone makes it through, but we don't understand those big, big, big things that happen. They're too big for us to really comprehend. So, in the news today, I did see several headlines that showed me, when I look at the overall picture, that the regime is failing, and it's failing monumentally. The impeach, convict, remove chant of the anti-Trump rally is in DC was powerful. Yeah. It's all amazing. It's all just incredible what we're finding within ourselves when we dig really deep. We have to dig deep. When times are most challenging, that's when we dig deep, personally and in the collective. So this is a time for that. And I don't know, personally for me, I didn't really do anything today. I went for a nice walk earlier. I didn't really feel like in a celebratory mood. And I think, it's really hard. It's really a hard day, since what happened yesterday with those two National Guards people, a 20-year-old woman and a man who's quite young. It's and then to have Dumpy say what he says is like, it's really bad. So we're going to focus during our meditation time on continuing to bring in the light into this nation. And we have a small group here tonight because it is a holiday. So let me know what you're thinking about. Let me know what your vision is for our country. Do you have a certain thing that you'd like to see happen that you want to share with us? Don't be shy. It's a small group. So I'm going to read what Darren is saying. I recommend to read the book Learning from the Germans, Racism and the Memory of Evil by Susan Neiman. Susan was born and raised in the segregated South in the 1960s. She was Jewish and has a PhD in philosophy and is the director of the Einstein Institute in Berlin. She raised her 3 children in Berlin and still lives there. She makes some interesting points. Yeah. So, history is there for us to learn from. Let me just take a look at some of today's headlines. I might do a video a little bit later and upload it. I likely will, but just to kind of brief you, I'm just going to give you a little briefing. These are just Midas Touch headlines. Just for example, because we can see the whole regime is cracking. Trump stunned as January 6th judge expedites Epstein release. Judge Chutkin. Let's read some other headlines. Thrown under the bus. Trump official guilty in scandal that could end her. This is about Kristi Noem. MAGA Mike's end is near. I'm just reading some headlines just to give us a sense that things are happening. Thanksgiving nightmare. In total collapse. That's about Pam Blondie and the chaos. Scranton, Pennsylvania revolts against the GOP. Zelensky turns the tables. Remove him now. Another Trump sham. Vets strike back. That's something about Mark Kelly. Trump gave the shooter asylum, even though he's trying to blame everything on Democrats, right? So I kind of have a sense that the military is going to refuse to obey unlawful orders from this point forward. That's what I'll look at when I do a PNN a little bit later. All right, so how was your dinner? We have just a few minutes. We have like about 5 minutes before we go into the guided meditation. And I never know what the guides are going to give me for the guided meditation, but I know that it's powerful. What'd you have? What was your favorite thing that you had for Thanksgiving dinner or dessert? Go on. We'll make it a contest. Which one sounds the most delicious? Did you all have turkey? You guys are being shy tonight. Let's continue to visualize the America that we want to see. I did listen a little bit to Timothy Snyder. Rachel Maddow interviewed him in Chicago somewhere. I think it was like an arts center. And Timothy Snyder made a good point. You all know who he is. He wrote the book on tyranny. Ham, pumpkin pie. Walked. Oh, you went for a walk. Good. Didn't have dessert yet? Oh, I bet you're looking forward to that. You're sleepy? Yeah, that's kind of typical of Thanksgiving. Lasagna. Oh, nice. That's a great idea. So anyway, Timothy Snyder mentioned this, and I thought it was an important point. He wrote on tyranny. I have that book here somewhere. Warren sent it to me. He said that we need to speed up. We need to ramp up our activism. And he warned, Timothy Snyder warned about, and I think it's fair, that we are doing too much of like looking at what's going on, reading what's going on, and not enough like engaging in the activities that are necessary to get really engaged and to be running our country again, right? Like we always were supposed to be doing. So I totally agree with that. I totally think that we can all do our part to do a little bit more than just reading about what's going on in the news. Every single one of us really needs to be on the streets and calling our representatives. And if you're the kind of person who wants to not be so out there and visible, well, do your activism maybe behind the scenes, but do know that it's very important. With these rallies, it's very, very important that the visual is out there. Like I have a great picture of the rally in DC that I posted on my community page. It's really good to see the visual, and we need the visual. We need for the world to see, oh, look at how many Americans are coming out to stamp out fascism. I have a Midas Touch shirt that says "Knock out fascism." It's one of my favorites. I've worn it before. Okay, so you're all sharing what you had for dinner. The tryptophan is kicking in, Jackie. You can't fall asleep during the meditation. It's only 15 minutes or a little bit more. So the sweet potato pie wasn't too sweet. All right, that sounds good. We're almost there. We have a little more than a minute left. So make sure right now you're getting really comfortable. Remove all distractions. Turn off your ringers and everything. Make sure people know that you're meditating for a few minutes. Maybe they'll join you, but you don't want them to distract you. Make sure your pets are all set, and we'll get into it. Dessert gooey butter cake. What's gooey butter cake? Lasagna sounds great right now. Ham pumpkin pie. Yeah, Mary. Okay, are we ready? We're going to blast our country with white light in about 20 seconds. We're doing the countdown. So settle in, take a deep breath in, hold it, and a longer breath out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With your eyes closed, take a long, slow, deep breath in. Hold it as long as you can, and then a longer exhalation. And allow yourself to just be enveloped in peacefulness. A long breath in. Hold it as long as you can before you take a long exhalation. And at your own pace, continue to take a few of those long breaths at your own pace. Long breath in, hold it as long as you can, and a longer breath out. This brings down the stress hormone levels in your system. You can do these kinds of breaths anytime that you feel that it's needed. And imagine on this Thanksgiving holiday day that you're kind of tuned in and tapped into all the happy vibrations of people that have gotten together today and are still together and really enjoying each other's company. Feel those feelings, reminding one another that they're loved. Think of the energy of people hugging, singing, laughing, sharing, giving, and feeling blessed and grateful. Let's tap into that vibration. Kindness and caring. Feel the energy of that and peace. And let's relax our body. Bring your attention to your toes and relax your toes and the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet. Bring that relaxation into the ankles and the calves and the knees. Relax the thighs and buttocks and hips and lower abdomen. And bring your attention to your tailbone. Focus on the tailbone. Send relaxing energy to your tailbone and bring your attention to every single vertebrae moving up the spine, relaxing your spine vertebrae by vertebrae until you reach the base of the skull. Your entire spine is relaxed and your entire back relaxes. Feel your lower abdomen, buttocks, and hips relax. The diaphragm muscle that lifts up your rib cage and lungs relaxed. Feeling very good and very safe, very cozy. Relax the lungs and heart and rib cage. And feel that beautiful relaxation moving up into the shoulders and the arms and elbows, wrists and hands and fingers. Have your palms up on your legs or your lap. And bring the relaxation into your upper chest, your neck and throat. Now relax the jaw and all the hundreds of muscles in your face and your scalp. And now scan your entire body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. If there's any other place that feels like it needs to be more relaxed, just bring your attention there and allow that part of your body to just relax and let go. And give yourself the suggestion. Say to yourself, I am attuning to a higher frequency vibration. You don't have to be looking for a particular way to feel or anything. Just give yourself that suggestion. I am attuning to a higher frequency vibration. And just allow yourself to relax into that higher frequency vibration, which is what is contained in those joyful, loving vibrations of people being together and loving one another. My body and mind are attuned to the higher vibrational frequencies. I feel the higher frequencies. I'm in the higher frequencies. I feel uplifted. I feel energized. Even though my eyes are closed, I feel alert. I feel very, very present, right here and now. And now imagine there's a big, bright ball of light, just like the sun, about 5 feet above the top of your head, shining really bright rays of light down upon your entire body. And a very big ray of light moves down through the crown, all the way down your spine into the tailbone area and connecting you, shooting out into the floor and into the earth, like a fluorescent tube, shining light, rays of light into your entire body. You're aglow with high vibrational frequency light. And in this light, you know that all is well. You feel blessed. You feel uplifted. And you feel as if you're contained in this high vibrational frequency, like in a bubble. And now begin to imagine that you're walking down a path in nature. Just bring it up in your imagination. It can be a real place that you know or just made up. Walking down a path in nature slowly, just really being alert and aware in your visualization of what's around you. Notice the colors and the smells, and are there trees, flowers? Is it on a beach? Notice where you are, walking in nature. And off in the distance, you see something on the ground. And it looks like an old scroll. As you get closer, you see it's a scroll of something, some kind of writing. And you're so curious, and you bend down and you pick it up, and you unroll the scroll like parchment paper, and you notice that there's strange letters on it that you don't really understand, as if written in a language that you don't know, like an ancient text. And you're just in an awareness that in this information in this scroll, even though you're not able to legibly read it, you have a sense that the message here contains the message that all is in order and all will be well. And you're just absorbing, like as through a transmission, you're absorbing the information and on a feeling level that all is in divine order according to a divine plan, and all is well and all will be well, no matter what anything looks like. This has already been predetermined to work out, to bring humanity to a higher, better frequency and a higher, better place. We're in a process, and you seem to get this message from this scroll that you've opened up, and it's so strange. The letters are so unusual, but you understand that there's a message coming through, that we're not doing this whole trip on our own. We are all part of a grand plan for humanity. And you're in a kind of awe as you're looking at this scroll. And after you have a sense that you've received a transmission of some kind of subconscious message just by looking at these letters on the scroll, you roll it back up and you put it back in its place where you found it. And you continue your walk. And you continue to walk into a huge expanse. It looks like an amphitheater, a huge area where there aren't many people, just a few. And as you walk in, you notice people start to fill up the seats in this amphitheater, as if you've all come to receive a message, a further message from higher benevolent beings and angels and guides for humanity. And you all have a sense that you were supposed to be there together. You have a sense of there's a purpose for this meeting. It's natural and normal, and you're all filing in and filling up the seats in this amphitheater. And there's a huge screen on the stage. And all of a sudden you see pictures coming up onto the screen. And you see pictures of a beautiful, harmonious, healed earth and happy people and prayerful people and spiritual people and a healed America. All these images on the screen are showing you a beautiful vision of what the people desire. And now those images fade momentarily from the screen. And now projected onto the screen are images of the most horrible things that we've seen in our country recently and for many years now, actually. And you see the images that are the most awful and the most upsetting. And as you see them, a funny thing happens. As if a flame is coming through the screen, you see the images kind of burning up and disappearing, as if it's images from the past that you don't want to perpetuate. So collectively, we're all feeling and seeing the image as if it's burning up. All these images of all the terrible people, we know who they are, just disintegrating. One after another, all the bad things that are being done, all the pain, all the cruelty, all the planning for more evil, all the planning of Project 2025, all that, and all the very cruel, evil people with evil intentions. They're just kind of burning up. The image of them is just kind of burned up on the screen, and the smoke just takes it away. Just takes these images away, wiping them out. And now onto the screen are the images once again, even more images of an America that is rebuilding. In some ways, just rebuilding from the ground up, with our democracy more secure, with more stringent ways to attract real leaders, more safeguards, more guardrails, more thoughtfulness, more humanity. You see images one after another, after another, after another, of us winning, of us remaining a very strong democracy, getting stronger, good people that you'd love to see in positions of power and leadership, in those positions of power and leadership. You see images of people dancing in the streets that the fascist regime has failed and has been removed. You see images of people hugging each other, people who have been so harmed, relieved, knowing that healing has arrived. You see images of our flag representing a country that's united, a country that is now safe from the psyops of being infiltrated with our enemies, controlling people's minds. You see a safe country. You see beautiful images of the America that you know is now in a sacred democracy. You see people willing and wanting good and only good for one another. Healthy, safe, caring, nurturing, and very, very strong. An equal amount of, or more, majority of women in positions of leadership. The chaos ended. Moving forward, every image that represents a healed America on that screen. And you feel the energy of the people in the audience become more and more joyful. And you feel your connection with each and every one of them. All is well, and all will be well. It is predestined. We are so very grateful. And now imagine yourself walking back. Imagine yourself walking back and you pass that scroll that was on the path. And you notice on the ground there it's glowing. And you have a knowing smile on your face. You know that scroll has the information that pretends that all will be well. And you're walking back on the nature path and feel yourself walking back into the room that you're seated in, moving your etheric self back into your body. And know that everything that you've seen is now coming to fruition. And bring your attention to the gentle sensation of the breath as it moves in and out of your nostrils. And I will count up from 5 to 1 to bring you to an awakened state. But do feel free to continue to meditate if you'd like to do that. And we'll just close after the count of 1. 5, 4, 3, 2. And at the count of 1, you can open your eyes or just continue to meditate. And 1. And namaste.